Welcome everyone. What a great way to start the morning. We are sweating here with the Zumba class. It was great. So I just wanted to, first of all, thank all my volunteers here because this Wellness Week has been really extraordinary. We have learned so much. Thank you, Adri. Thank you, Maria Marta. Thank you, Anna, Carolina, and Julie. You are my right hand, my left hand, everything. So really a round of applause for this very well-organized week. Incredible. As you know, Flying High for Haiti, we had the main fundraising at about this time. It was a Brazilian night sponsored by the Rotary Club of Key Biscayne, and this year, due to COVID, we couldn't do it. So we came with this alternative, and it has been really great. Thank you to all the sponsors, to all the speakers. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all of you who participated in this Wellness Week. So today, what I would like to do is to tell you a little bit more about Flying High for Haiti, how it came about, when it started, and all the projects that we have been doing for now 10 years, or more than 10 years actually. So let me share the screen, and just one moment. Okay. Everyone can see that, right?
Yes.
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 Okay. So I traveled the first time to Haiti 11 years ago. It was a few weeks before the powerful earthquake in January 2010 that killed around 250,000 people in Port-au-Prince. Here's my son Mikey in front of the presidential palace during that trip. It was probably one of the few last photos of the beautiful French-style National Palace. It was completely destroyed a few weeks after. It was 3 weeks after we went. So my husband and I went to Haiti with my son to visit a microcredit project helping women living in extreme poverty. It was called Foncose. It was a shocking experience to see the level of poverty that existed just an hour and a half flight from Miami. We saw small children having their upper arms measured to identify their level of malnourishment. Their bellies were swollen with worms, and the hair was rust color, both signs of severe malnutrition. Mikey was only 12 years old, and this experience changed him for the rest of his life. It was then also that I decided I wanted to go back to Haiti and try to help in any way I could. I was a principal of a school at the time. So shortly after the earthquake, I went with some of my teachers to help in 10 cities where there were victims of earthquake were being sheltered. Many of the children in the 10 cities were orphans who had lost their parents. We organized art therapy classes to provide some comfort. We also conducted a photography project where kids took pictures with disposable cameras of a day in their life, living in the tents, in order to create awareness in Miami about the dramatic situation they were living in. We exhibited their photos at a fundraiser at Mocha Gallery in North Miami Beach. My volunteers and I stayed in those 10 cities for 2 weeks, and with extreme hot temperatures, with a lot of mosquitoes, some rats crawling around at night. One of my volunteers had to be treated in Miami due to dengue. So it's hard to imagine that many Haitian families were living in those 10 cities for more than 2 years. I was struck to see the children there being so resilient in spite of all the trauma they experienced. It was then that I decided to look for an educational project to support. And after some research, I came across a school called École du Village, located in Isla Vache. So here is Port-au-Prince, and in order to get to Isla Vache, it's about 5 hours. We go to Petit Waf, Mirawan, Acan, and here is Le Cay, where we take a little boat and it takes about 40 minutes to go to the island of Isla Vache. And this is the boat we take. Everything in Isla Vache has to be transported in this kind of boats because there's in the island there are no shops. There's so if you do any construction and rebuilding, everything has to be transported from mainland. Isla Vache is a beautiful island of the south coast of Haiti. It is a very poor island without running water or electricity, but with extraordinary natural beauty and a wonderful, hardworking community. There are only a few working water wells, and people have to walk long distances to fetch the water. The island is 15,000 inhabitants, live mostly of local agriculture and fishing. So the island has cashews, almonds, bananas, coconuts, and mangoes, which are sold in the Sunday market. There are no roads in the island, and everything is transported by boat, like I said before, or motorbikes. So you can see here the beauty of Isla Vache. So when I arrived in Isla Vache for the first time, this was the state of the school. And so it had no roof, no doors, everything was falling apart. The students were all crammed into a very unsafe building. That is when I agreed to take over running the school, and I created a nonprofit, Flying High for Haiti. The kids love to make kites there. So they make kites with plastic bags and sticks, and that's how the name came about, Flying High for Haiti. And since then, Flying High for Haiti has been involved in numerous projects. We fully sponsor the education of the 135 students at the École du Village. We pay the salary of 11 teachers, including an art and English teacher, the principal, and the administrator of the school. Uniforms, all the supplies, and textbooks. École du Village provides free tuition for all the students. So here are some of the faces of the kids of École du Village. They're really wonderful, wonderful kids. In Haiti, there are very, very few public schools, and parents can afford the 100 tuition fees to send their kids to school. So many parents send their children to be restabecs, a system that is commonly understood to be a form of slavery. Kids are sent to families in the city, expecting them to have a better life and more educational opportunity. Restabecs have to work in the house, and in exchange, they are supposed to receive education. Many end up being sexually abused. That is just one of the reasons why I believe that it's so important to invest in education in Haiti. So Flying High for Haiti renovated the main building of the school and also built 5 classrooms, 4 bathrooms, and is in the process right now as we speak to build an art and library center, what is called the Kai project. So this was a classroom that will be last year. So to be able to expand and have more kids in the school. And we also installed 2 large cisterns to collect the rainwater because, as I mentioned before, there are very few water wells. And so the kids drink the rainwater. And then we have filters so they can, that it can be more safe for them. Also, thanks to Rotary district grants, we are able to provide on a yearly basis free textbooks to all the 135 students that we have in the school. In these photos, you will see the distribution of textbooks done by some students of Mast Academy, interactors, Emma was the president last year of Interact Master Academy. Julian is the president, the current president of Interact Master Academy this year. Jolene is a principal of the school. She's wonderful. And so here we are, and they are so, so happy to receive all these the textbooks. They receive math textbooks and language art textbooks. The curriculum is all in French, even though their native tongue is Haitian Creole. Here we are with, right now, district, the governor of the district, Peter Berbeck. So he came with me a couple of times as well to do the distribution of textbooks. And here we are. So art is not part of the curriculum in Haiti, but Flying High for Haiti offers art classes on a daily basis. Haitian kids are very creative and visual, so I strongly believe that art is a great way to build their self-esteem, and at the same time, it is therapeutic and it provides them a way to express their feelings. So they do really beautiful art. We also, Flying High for Haiti has also recently started ocean plastic art classes as part of an environmental program to create awareness about protecting their beautiful island. Once a week, the students do beach cleanups and pick up tons of plastic bottles that are washed ashore from mainland, and they transform them in beautiful pieces of art. So here was a project to build brooms out of the plastic bottles that they found at the beach. And so they use these brooms to clean the school, the kids. And here you see some pieces of beautiful art. You know, we teach them to recycle the art, the plastic bottles. Rebuilding, 4 years ago, I mean, no more 4 years, more than, it was in 2016. So more than 4 years ago, my heart sank when I saw the track of a Category 4 hurricane named Matthew heading towards Isla Vache. I had just repainted the school and put a new roof on one building. So I was glued to the weather channel, monitoring every step of this monster storm, praying it wouldn't go away. But Matthew was merciless and destroyed the most fertile area of Southwest Haiti, leaving decimated villages and a staggering death toll. Thankfully, the school survived almost intact, save for one palm tree that fell on top of the new roof and some water damage to the textbook. But see, here's Isla Vache. So it went right through it. So the eye of Matthew passed only 35 miles west of Isla Vache, where local residents took refuge in churches and schools, including École du Village. Most of the houses were damaged and lost roof. So we quickly reacted to friends in Port-au-Prince and Miami to help organize a delivery of emergency relief supplies to the island, which were distributed in an organized fashion thanks to our team and the mayor of Isla Vache. And you will see, this is a school that we had to rebuild, and this was in Key Biscayne. We collected 300 boxes of relief supplies, and then were transported, see, on the boat. And then I went there to receive the donations, because that's super important to follow up, always follow up. So a week after the hurricane, I traveled to Isla Vache with a New York Times photographer, Jason Harry, to document the destruction. And I saw families living in the crushed ruins of their roofless homes, their few belongings scattered on the ground. Some had managed to cover one room with a plastic or nylon sheet, so the family had a place to sleep. There was a tremendous amount of work to be done to repair all the homes, reopen schools, and plant new crops. I got together with local authorities to survey the damage and to identify 2 areas to rebuild. Flying High for Haiti has since then rebuilt and fixed roof of 60 hurricane-destroyed homes in 2 areas of the island, Docashiman and Cano Verde. The rebuilding process was done by local workers, and all the materials were brought on the mainland. I believe in the importance of providing jobs locally and buying locally instead of bringing from abroad. I traveled several times with a photographer to document the rebuilding process. So here are some of the homes that Flying High for Haiti built from scratch. So Eusebio was 85 at the time, no family around, and no means to be able to rebuild. So we promised him a home. This was some months after, and this was like 4 months after we went. And also we refurnished all the inside of his house. And as you can see, he was so grateful and happy. Also, Maria Janet, she has 3 kids in the Col du Village. They are in the Col du Village. They live very close by. So as you can see, no roof. So we built a home from scratch. And so this is a few months after. I went with Peter Berbeck, the district governor. And as you can see by her face, she's so grateful to have a new home for her family. Denise, this girl, she was very sick. She had cancer. She died, passed away a few weeks after I met her and her family. She didn't live in Ilava. She lived in Lekai. But I told the family that we built a home in her name for the family. So a few weeks after, a month after, we built this home here for her family in her honor. Mary has 7 kids. She lived with her sick grandpa and grandma, and her home was completely destroyed. So she made this home out of palm home, as you can see, the inside of the house. Imagine when it rains. And so this was some after. And 5 months after, she had a home, and I brought volunteers. I always bring them there. I always go and visit the families, and they all are so welcoming and really so grateful. And we also put a plaque with all the donors. And this was a visit. She is so happy, and she really decorated beautifully the house as well. Odette, the same thing. She had to take care of her grandchildren and her daughter, a single mom. So this is the before, and this is the after. And we also bought her all the furniture for her house. Again, we always put a plaque with the people that made it possible. Janet, 3 kids in the Col du Village. And when we visit her and we built the home, she gave us a big papaya as a token of appreciation. She was so grateful. On November, well, this is another house that we visit. Floris, she was very sick, very high fever. The 8 kids were taking care of her. And so obviously we told her that we make everything possible for her to have, and the kids to have, a new home. And so this is the new home of the kids, and you can see by their smiles how happy they are. And on November 2017, the mayor awarded Flying High for Haiti the Ilavash Meritorious Honor Award for services to the community in the post-Hurricane Matthew recovery effort. He also named me an honorary ambassador for Ilavash, which it was really an honor for me. So during this now 10 years, more than 10 years, Flying High for Haiti has taken many high schoolers and university students on volunteer trips. Many of them are from Interact Club at Mast Academy. Others are from Coral Gables High and Coral Reef High School, but also there's some from private schools, like Gulliver and Belen. They packed their suitcases with donations of clothes, toys, diapers to donate to an orphanage on the island. And there is an orphanage, there are 90 disabled kids. And I'm always very impressed by the way the young volunteers interact with all the orphans despite their language barrier and their physical disabilities. The orphanage is not for the faint-hearted and is challenging even for grown-ups. Volunteers also bring school supplies to the school and they organize fun activities with the students. So we always play a soccer match with a local soccer team, and our Miami team always end up losing to the skilled young Haitian players, though we have had a couple of close games. We always bring soccer donations, and at this time, Miami FC, one of the wife of one of the players of Miami FC came with us to Haiti, and she brought a lot of soccer gear. They really love soccer in Haiti, and they're very, very good players as well. So these trips for these kids there's a before and after this trip, they appreciate what they have and here in Miami, and it makes them better human beings, I believe. We also bring a lot of filter donations because most of the houses in Haiti don't have plumbing, and they collect rainwater to drink and bathe, as I mentioned before. The problem with the rainwater is that often it is collected in open plastic containers, and if it's not covered, it can become a breeding ground for mosquitoes and bacteria. So last year, I believe we donated like 200 water filters. Those water filters last for about a year. We also do a lot of distribution of shoes and clothes. You can see how grateful the kids are by the smiles. And we have conducted several photography workshops in the school with professional photographers and videographers from the US. We then exhibited in Miami to raise funds for the school. When people talk about Haiti in the United States, the word beauty is not usually part of the conversation, quite the opposite. People sometimes ask me why I love Haiti so much, a place so associated with political violence, diseases, and natural disasters. That is one of the reasons why for the past 10 years, Flying Hard for Haiti has been organizing photo exhibitions in Wynwood, showing the beauty of Haiti and its people, as seen through the eyes of young Haitians. These exhibitions have the purpose not only to raise funds for the education and support the École du Village, but also to show to the world the other face of Haiti, the face that is rarely seen in the media and coverage. More than 1,000 solar lights have been donated to Île Vache. The solar lights are a hit in the island, and in fact, they are the first thing everyone asks me when I get there. For them, these lights are very important because at 5 o'clock, the island becomes pitch black, and it is dangerous for the kids to walk outside. The lights can also help avoid cooking accidents at night, and the kids also can read and study at night. The big lesson I have learned in Haiti after now more than 10 years is the importance to fully focus on one or two projects and never try to achieve too much at the same time. A lot of NGOs give up working in Haiti because they lack of focus. They take on too much and then they get overwhelmed. All the projects have to involve follow-up by traveling to Haiti. Now, of course, with COVID, it's very difficult, but that's what we did before. And by documenting the process. It is very important to show your face, work with the local authorities, and to understand the real needs and culture of the community. Also, it is important to work and partner with local NGOs who have been on the ground for a long time. It is a plus to learn the language, and I'm trying my best to learn Haitian Creole. Just the effort to speak the language makes a huge impact to build trust. It's a way of showing that you really care about the culture. So I'm going to stop here, stop sharing, show a few pictures. And now we are in the process, as I mentioned before, to build a library, an art center in the school. This project is called the KAI project. And if you go in our Instagram, you are going to see the progress. We are in phase 1 right now. I'm I'm thrilled to be in phase 1, thanks to the support of many. We have raised already $7,440, and our goal is to raise $12,000 to finish that art and center in partnership with Taylor Moxie Foundation. We also would like to build a computer lab and to have solar panels and have surtas. Surtas are iPads made in Haiti, and they're great. And they have a lot of educational apps in French and in Creole. So we are looking forward for that as well, to build a kitchen, a community kitchen where the mothers and parents of the school will every week rotate to make meals for the kids, warm meals for the kids, and obviously to rebuild more homes. How we fundraise? Okay, well, we did the Brazilian night. Hopefully next year we'll do it again with the sponsorship of Rotary Club of Key Biscayne, with district grants from Rotary for the textbooks, with a Build a Home, Buy a Home project from KB Realty and Douglas Elman. So part of the commission of some realtors go towards rebuilding homes, with photography exhibitions, private donations. And if you go to the website, also with recurring donations where you can sponsor a child. So this is it. I don't know if you have some questions for me. If there's any question or any, okay.
Ines?
Yes?
Yes, I got a question here. Somebody's asking what's next for Flying High for Haiti? What do you see happening this year?
Well, this year, as I mentioned, we would like to build this art center and library center that is super important because, as you saw, they are so creative. So we really would like to in the art center do a lot of workshops, not only there with teachers there, but also bring artists from US and do workshop there with the kids. Also, the computer lab is so important because, as you see, I mean, with the COVID, the school was closed for some time, but if they had those iPads, those surtabs that are called, with the apps, it would have been so useful for them. And we need solar panels as well for electricity in the school. The kitchen is also a dream, but as I say, step by step. Right now we are with the art and library center, and we almost this close to fulfill our goal. So we are super thrilled.
Ines, we had another question. Somebody asking if you can talk a little bit more about the education process from a child of 3 years old to a teenager, and then an adult, like for example, FEDNO. What are their options?
Okay, with FEDNO, we also sponsor some youth. It's very difficult for them, like when they get to high school, because private high schools are very, very expensive for them. We actually now we are sponsoring a student that just finished high school, but every year Flying High for Haiti had to pay $500 for him. For it was a huge amount, but he was able to learn English, and now he would like to. His dream, for example, is to go to Dominican Republic and study psychology. So there are very few options, public options. So it's very difficult to continue after they finish the school. We have up to 6th grade. So middle school and high school then becomes a problem. We wish we had a high school there, a middle school, but for that we need a lot of funding. And so, as I say, you really have to focus. So yes, in the school, in our school, they have English classes, which is really, really useful for them in the future if they would like to find a job, right? And art classes also, it is very rewarding for them. We would like to, as some of the students are already doing, art pieces made of papier-mâché that then we bring here to Miami and we are able to sell. We are now on the way to have here in Miami some 150 butterflies, beautiful butterflies made of papier-mâché that we are going to start selling at the farmers market here in Key Biscayne. And that's a way also with those butterflies we send back to some students in high school so they can pay for their own studies. I don't know if I answered your question.
We have another question here, a comment and a question. Wonderful, amazing work. Do you have a kind of annual report in PDF with everything that you explained? This is from Mappy.
Yes, Pilar, yes, we do have a report. We have to put it in our Flying High for Haiti website. And Pilar, thank you for always supporting Flying High for Haiti. Pilar was actually the director of a great hospital, a pediatric hospital, free pediatric hospital in Port-au-Prince that I visited the first time. And her work in Haiti has been amazing, outstanding. So thank you for being here today and supporting Flying High for Haiti.
Another comment we have here, felicitaciones de todo corazón. La labor es admirable. Me he emocionado con tu exposición. Admirable. From Ana Rey.
Gracias, Ana. Gracias.
From our loyal participant of all our Week of Wellness classes, Yvette, una presentación muy impresionante y muy clara de este proyecto. Lo que haces es digno de admirar. Felicitaciones.
Gracias, Yvette. Y tú eres nuestra estrella, porque has estado en todas las clases. Nuestra participante estrella, Yvette.
Another question, what percentage of the donations end up going to the actual project?
100%. Thank you for that question. It's 100%. There's no overhead at all. So everything goes to the project, everything. Not a penny for the volunteers, not a penny for the people that are directing the project.
And then from Esther Cervantes, Inés, hermoso trabajo.
Muchísimas gracias, Esther. Gracias por estar aquí. Yo sé que tú haces cosas maravillosas allí en México también.
Impresionó tu trabajo, tu corazón, y cómo es que lidereas a todas esas personas para que vayan a Haití. Me fascinó.
Gracias, Esther. Un día tienes que venir con nosotros.
Claro, por supuesto, yo voy con ustedes. Para estos trabajos me encantan.
Muy bien, Esther. Bueno, pues nada, gracias por escuchar y por participar. Porque todo esto que habéis visto es posible por vosotros. Just
claro.
Because of you. Everything is possible because you are part of it. And thank you again for all my volunteers that make it happen as well. I don't know, Carolina, do you want to, because now we have the raffle, right? Everyone is waiting.
Yes, we're ready for the raffle. Before we start, Ines, I want to thank you from all the volunteers that work with you every day. You have been really a great inspiration for all of us. We love not only helping the cause, but also enjoy working with you a lot. So thank you.
Carolina.
Okay, and now to the raffle. I have my assistant here. Sebastian is to turn it. Yeah, but come closer to me.
Hola.
Yes. Come closer to them. There. Okay. So my assistant here has the ball with all the tickets.
And Sebas is an interactor, right? From Master Academy?
He is an interactor, yes. And I'm going to turn, if you give me 1 second, I'm going to turn the background off because it's interfering with our ball of tickets. Okay. Oh, thank you. Technical assistance. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start. We have a lot of prizes that have been donated by wonderful sponsors and businesses in the island and away. Our main prize today is going to be a 2-night stay with a round of golf at the Omni Championship Resort in Orlando. We're going to do that at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And are you ready for the first one?
Of course.
Okay, so now we're going to see who the winner is of 2 bottles of Verde Puro Vita olive leaf liquid extract, which is very, very good for your health. It goes well with our theme this week of Wellness. Sebastian.
Here we go.
And the winner is Sophie Jaramillo. Sophie Jaramillo. I don't know if Sophie is with us today, but I'm just going to write here. Okay. Okay, our next prize is 2 boxes of cookies from Bake It Up, from Romina.
All right. Second prize, Ruth Ortega.
Ruth Ortega wins 2 boxes of cookies from Bake It Up. Our next prize is the ebook from Chef Natita, Postres dulces, saludables y sin azúcar. And the winner is MB Vidal del Carril. MB Vidal del Carril. Our next prize is 1 virtual session with Verónica Estrada. And the winner is Bob Brooks. Yay. 1 virtual session with Verónica Estrada. I have to mention that Bob was also a loyal participant of our sessions. We enjoyed having him. He not only was present, but he usually participated a lot, gave a lot of information. It was a pleasure to have him. And our next prize is Meet One-on-One with Yasmin Egosi from CBD and More. And the winner is Juan Pablo Lozano. Juan Pablo Lozano is the winner of a Meet One-on-One with Yasmin Egosi. Next, we have 1 class of advanced yoga with Verónica Vidal. And the winner is Jane de Guzman. Jane de Guzman. Our next prize is 1 session of coaching with Verónica. Excuse me. 1 session of coaching with Verónica Vidal.
All right. Here we go. The prize goes to Carol Duenas.
Carol Dueñas. Yes, Carol Dueñas gets a session of coaching with Verónica Vidal. Then now we have a body talk session with Josefina Sanguinetti. Mabel Stanfield.
Yeah.
Mabel Stanfield se gana una sesión de body talk con Josefina Sanguinetti. Después tenemos 2 clases de intermediate yoga with Verónica Vidal.
And the winner is Ana Raigen.
Ana Raigen. Ana Raigen. I think this is my mom.
Yay.
Mom, congratulations. Pero did we say the price?
Did you say the prize?
I don't think I said, did I say, it was 2 classes of intermediate yoga with Veronica Vidal. Okay. And now we're going to do 2 classes of gentle yoga with Veronica Vidal. Ana Clavel wins 2 classes of gentle yoga with Veronica Vidal. Now we have a 1 month free membership with Bearcat Fitness.
Wow.
That's what I need. Let's see, and the winner is Maite Morata. Maite Morata is going to be fitter in a month with 1 month free membership with Bearcat Fitness. And finally, our big prize of today, a 2-night stay with a round of golf at the Omni Championship Resort in Orlando. And the winner is Marina Rosito.
Yay.
And we saw Marina Rosito also in many of our classes. Congratulations to Marina Rosito. She is on her way to Orlando for a 2-night stay with golf at the Omni Championship Resort in Orlando. And now, Ines, to you.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the winners. And thank you for participating again. And thank you to all the sponsors. I hope to see you next year, because I think we are going to do this annually, right? All volunteers?
Yes, yes.
Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And really, thank you for making it happen. All the projects that you saw today is because of you, because of donations from you, from many in the community. And we hope we can make all our dreams happen this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next year. Stay healthy.